do so. Hey guys, Dave Cordero here for another song tutorial at Pass the Guitar Live. And in this video, we're gonna be working on Yellow by Coldplay. Another fantastic song for you to add to your repertoire, especially because for the majority of the song, we're only gonna be using 4 chords. And these 4 chords are the 4 most used chords out there. It cannot get better than that. And if you want to play in the original key, all you need to do is use a capo on the 4th fret, and you're gonna be all set. Nice, right? But before we move on, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe, click on that bell, and like this video. And if you are ready, you know the drill. Let's waste no more time and dive right in. And we're gonna start by taking a look at the chords we're gonna use for this song. And you already know we're gonna use those 4 most used chords, which are G major, D major, C major, and E minor. But like I said, we're gonna use these 4 chords for the majority of the song with the exception of the outro, where we're gonna also get to play D minor. Great, right? It's so awesome to find more songs to play with these 4 chords. It's super motivating. And D minor is also part of the 8 basic chords every guitar player needs to know. Well, now that we have the chords, let's take a look at that strumming pattern. And here you have it. This strumming pattern is packed with accents. Well, just to remind you, an accent is this little arrow that you see on top of some of the notes, and it means that you're gonna play those a little bit stronger. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Yeah, you're gonna put more emphasis on where you see the accents. Well, I'm gonna play this strumming pattern, muted strings first, so that you can get used to the rhythm, get used to the sound and the way that I'm counting. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Down, 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 up, down, 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 up. Nice, right? And you see that most of this strumming pattern, we're gonna be playing 8th notes and we're playing downstrokes on the strum, making sure that we can drive. That's pretty much the groove of the song itself. So now let's plug in a chord so we can hear these accents in the strumming pattern. I'm gonna use G major. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Yeah, it's starting to sound like this song. But don't forget, if you have any questions or requests for any type of content you would like to see us covering in this channel, or you just want to say hi, leave us a comment and we'll be happy to reply. Now that we have the chords and that awesome strumming pattern, it's time for us to take a look at the form. And this song is basically composed of 3 distinct parts. We have intros and interludes, verses, and choruses. Well, we do have a bridge, but the bridge is played just like the verses, and the outro is just like a verse as well, but we are substituting the D major with D minor. That's where you're gonna get to play the D minor. We're gonna cover those later on in the video. Let's start by taking a look at what we're gonna be playing for the intros and interludes. And here you have it, it's an 8-bar phrase. And just to clarify, the intro and interludes is where you hear the electric guitar riff. Well, the intro of the song itself is 4 measures of G majors. As you can see here, it's just the acoustic guitar. If you play the song from the beginning, you're gonna notice right away, and it plays that G major for 4 measures, as you can see here, and then immediately after that, you kick in the iconic, what I call intro and interludes, with the electric guitar riff, which is this 8-bar phrase. So let's just cover this 8-bar phrase because you can play 4 measures of G major, right? So the first measure here is a full measure of G major, followed by another full measure of G major, and then we head to a full measure of D major, followed by another full measure of D major, and moving to the second line we have C major, followed by another full measure of C major, and then ending this 8-bar phrase with 2 full measures of G major. And the last one, G. Pretty cool, right? Nice. We got to play the same strumming pattern 2 times per chord because we do have 2 measures for every chord. 2 measures of G major, 2 of D, 2 of C, and then back to 2 measures of G major again. So let's practice this intro or interlude with the strumming pattern we learned. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and G and 2 and 3 and 4 and D and 2 and 3 and 4 and D and 2 and 3 and 4 and C. To G and 2 and 3 and 4 and the last measure 2 and 3 and 4 and super nice, right? And pay attention to this intro here because now we're actually gonna cover the verse and you're gonna see how similar the verses are with the intros and interludes. Take a look at it. See, look at this. This is the first verse, which is actually composed of 3 blocks of verses. You see a repeat sign on the second line, right in the middle. Like it's actually a 6-bar phrase that gets repeated 3 times. And then after you repeat those 6 measures 3 times, you get to play 2 more measures of G major. But if you take that repeat sign out of there, it looks just like the intro, right? So we're pretty much covered here. But you need to remember that for the verses, we do go back to the beginning. It's a 6-bar phrase with 2 extra bars of G major at the end. For the first verse, we repeat those 6 measures 3 times, as you can see here. And for the second verse, we are only going to repeat it 2 times. But it's the same formula. So the 6-bar phrase starts with a full measure of G major, followed by another measure of G major, and then after that you have D major, 1 more measure of D major, just like the intro, and then we go to C major for a full measure, another full measure of C major, and then you hit the repeat sign, and you go back, and for this first verse here, you're gonna do it 3 times, so you're gonna go back to the first 2 G's there, and then 2 D's, and then 2 C's. 1 more time, 2 G's, 2 D's, and 2 C's. After you repeat this 3 times, you play the last 2 measures that are extra measures of G major, and then another 1 of G major. That's nice. It can be confusing, but don't worry. Playing it, it's gonna make it so much better and easier for you to understand. So let's plug in that strumming pattern and play this verse 1. So don't forget, we're repeating the first 6 measures, the 6-bar phrase, 3 times, and then we play the extra 2 measures of G major. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and D and 2 and 3 and 4 and D and 2 and 3 and 4 and C and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. And now we're gonna go back. G major again. 2 and 3 and 4 and the G and 2 and 3 and 4 to the D and 2 and 3 and 4 and the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the C and 2 and 3 and 4 and the 1 and 2 and 3. We're gonna go back one more time. This is the last one. 3 and 4 and the G and 2 and 3 and 4 and the D and 2 and 3 and 4 and the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the C 2 and 3 and 4 and the 1 and 2. This time we're gonna go to the 2 extra measures of G and 2 and 3 and 4 and the last measure 2 and 3 and 4 and Man, by now you're probably tired of playing this like G to D and then C and then back to G again. Don't worry, we're now gonna cover the chorus, which is pretty much one of the most unique parts of the song. Take a look at it. There you go, we have an 8-bar phrase here, and it's not that same chord progression. It starts with a full measure of C major, and then we have a measure where we play E minor for the first half, and then D major for the second half. And then we go to another full measure of C major, followed by that measure that we have E minor, moving to D major. And moving to the second line, we go back to C major one more time, followed by a measure of E minor for the first half, and then D major for the second half, and then we move to another full measure of C major where we see those lashes, which means that we're gonna be playing the strumming pattern, and we end the chorus with a measure of C major that we actually play a whole note. Just hit and let it ring for 4 beats. Nice, right? It's gonna be a good change of pace here. And it's important for you to know what you're gonna have to do for the measures of E minor moving to D major. This strumming pattern is super cool because you're playing pretty much everything down, everything on the downbeat, so there is no anticipation. And for E minor, you're gonna play beats 1 and 2, and D major, you're gonna play beats 3 and 4. So those 16 notes, they only happen for D major. So you're gonna do E, 2 to D major, 3 and 4, and That's it. You see, you're only gonna play those and the 16 notes on the D major because the strumming pattern only does that at the end of the 4th beat. Well, let's plug in the strumming pattern and practice the chorus. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and C and 2 and 3 and 4 and the E minor and 2 and D major and 4 and the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the E minor and 2 and D major and 4 and the back to C major 2 and 3 and 4 and one last time on E minor and D major and 4 and C and 2 and 3 and here comes the whole note 2 and 3 and 4 and So nice, you get a change of pace here. Well, now that we covered the chorus, the verses, and the intro and interludes, let's take a look at the bridge, but mostly the outro. I'm gonna show you guys the bridge here, and if you see here, you have a 6-bar phrase, and it's that 6-bar phrase that you play on the verses, the ones that repeat. It's just the 2 measures of G moving to 2 measures of D, moving to 2 measures of C. You already know how to play this, so we're not gonna spend time on the bridge, but the bridge is where they sing, "It's true, it's how they shine for you," that part. But let's take a look at actually the outro, because we're gonna finally get to play D minor. We added D minor on the list of chords, it's just for this part here. And it's basically a verse that gets to end on the C major. And as you see, I told you, you're just substituting the D majors with D minors. So you have that two full measures of G major, followed by 2 full measures of D minor. And then you end the song with a whole note, a nice big hit on C major. Cool, right? Let's actually practice playing the outro. Let's plug in the strumming pattern. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the G and 2 and 3 and 4 and the G and 2 and 3 and 4 and the D minor and 2 and 3 and 4 and the D minor and 2 and 3 and 4 and whole note on C. 2 and 3 and 4 and the. And now that we covered the chords, strumming pattern, and all the parts of the song, it's time for us to do a playthrough demo. We're gonna go through some parts, not all of them. We're gonna do the second verse, we're also gonna do the second chorus, and we're gonna do the outro. I'm gonna skip the intros and interludes and also the bridge because it's pretty much the same thing that you're doing for the verses, those strumming patterns and the same type of chord progression. So let's start with verse. And here you have it, verse 2. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1. I strum across. I jumped across for you. Oh, what a thing to do. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 'Cause you were all yellow. I drew a line and 4 and a 1. I drew a line for you. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1. Oh, what a thing to do. And 3 and 4 and a 1. And it was all yellow. And the extra 2 measures of G major and 4 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a. Cool! Now let's do a chorus. Here we have it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1. Your skin, oh yeah, your skin and bones. 2 and 3 and a 1. Do something beautiful and a 1. And you know and a 1. For you I bleed myself dry. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Oh no, for you I bleed myself dry. Awesome! The last thing to do is now play the outro so we can get to play those D minors. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1. Look at the stars and a 1. Look how they shine for you. D minor, 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1. And all the things that you do. And that's a wrap for this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed and learned a lot, and now you can play Yellow by Coldplay. And if you have any questions, you know you can leave us a comment. We'll be happy to reply. And if you want to be part of our awesome community, or you just want to learn more about it, you know where to go. Head over to www.passtheguitar.live. There is a link in the description of this video. Or just check out this video here so you can get an idea of what our community is all about. My name is David Cordero, and I'll see you guys on another video.